Good evening, guy. It is now 9:37, and I've been rested. So I watched this video about leaf intention. Oh my God, that's a lot. Yeah, that's Kentucky. Leaf intention meaning what that mean? That mean you get rid of all the stuff that you don't like, and let me see where that go. 80,000 sub. What if the secret to living a richer life wasn't earning more money but needing less? In a world obsessed with spending, upgrading, and chasing the next big thing, there exists a culture that has quietly mastered the art of living well with less. Not through struggle, not through deprivation, but through intention. Japan doesn't just teach people how to save money, it teaches them how to live better while spending less. And once you understand these principles, you may never look at money or life the same way again. In modern society, we're constantly told that more is better. More income, more possessions, more comfort, more luxury. But despite all of this more, many people feel overwhelmed, financially strained, and mentally exhausted. Now imagine a different approach. A life where your expenses naturally shrink, your stress reduces, and your happiness quietly grows. This isn't a fantasy. It's a philosophy, one deeply rooted in Japanese culture. From minimalist homes to mindful spending habits, Japan has developed time-tested ways of living that balance simplicity, discipline, and contentment. In today's video, we'll explore 8 powerful Japanese ways to spend less and live better practices that don't just save money, but transform how you experience life itself. 1. Kakebo, the art of mindful spending. The first principle is something beautifully simple, yet incredibly powerful. It's called kakeibo. Kakeibo is a traditional Japanese method of budgeting, but it's not just about numbers. It's about awareness. Instead of blindly tracking expenses or relying on apps, Kakeibo asks you to sit down with pen and paper and reflect. Every month, you ask yourself 4 key questions. How much money do I have? How much do I want to save? How much am I actually spending? And how can I improve? But here's where it becomes transformative. Every expense is categorized into 4 groups: needs, wants, culture, unexpected. This forces you to confront your habits not with guilt, but with honesty. You begin to see patterns. Impulse purchases become visible. Unnecessary spending becomes undeniable. And slowly, something shifts. You stop spending automatically and start spending intentionally. The result? Less waste, more savings, and a deeper understanding of your relationship with money. 2. Danshari. Declutter your life. 1 tablespoon. Not just your home. In Japan, minimalism isn't just an aesthetic, it's a way of thinking. This philosophy is known as danshari. Okay, we're gonna do this roughly to refuse what you don't need, dispose of what you don't use, detach from what no longer serves. Everyone, at its core, danshari is about freedom. Think about it. Every item you own takes up space, not just physical space, but mental space. The more you have, the more you manage. The more you manage, the more energy you spend. By reducing what you own, you reduce what owns you. And here's the financial benefit. When you stop buying things you don't need, you naturally spend less. But the deeper reward is clarity. A cleaner space leads to a calmer mind. A calmer mind leads to better decisions. And better decisions lead to a better life. 3. Matanai, respect what you already have. There's a Japanese word that carries deep emotional weight. Matanai. It expresses a sense of regret over waste. Not just financial waste, but waste of time, resources, and potential. In Japan, throwing something away isn't taken lightly.
People are taught to respect what they have. Clothes are repaired, not replaced. Food is used fully, not wasted. Objects are cared for, not discarded. This mindset changes everything. Instead of constantly seeking new things, you begin to appreciate what you already own. And when appreciation grows, consumption naturally decreases. Teinei teaches that true wealth isn't found in endless acquisition, but in meaningful use. 4. Wabi Sabi, finding beauty in imperfection. Modern consumer culture thrives on perfection. Flawless products, new designs, upgrades every year. But Japanese philosophy offers a different perspective. Wabi Sabi. Wabi Sabi is the art of finding beauty in imperfection, simplicity, and age. A cracked bowl repaired with gold. A wooden table. A faded piece of fabric. These are not seen as flaws, but as stories. When you embrace Wabi Sabi, something powerful happens. You stop chasing perfection. You stop replacing things just because they're not new enough. You begin to value character over condition. And this shift quietly saves you money because you're no longer trapped in the cycle of constant upgrading. More importantly, it brings peace because life itself is imperfect. And learning to accept that is one of the greatest forms of freedom. 5. Ikigai, purpose over possessions. One of Japan's most powerful philosophies is something deeply personal. It's called Ikigai, your reason for waking up in the morning, your quiet motivation to keep going. But Ikigai isn't something you stumble upon overnight. It's something you uncover slowly, intentionally, like a hidden thread running through your life. At its core, Ikigai lives at the intersection of four simple but profound questions. What do you love? What are you naturally good at? What does the world need from you? And what can you realistically be rewarded for? Where these four meet, that's where purpose begins. But here's what makes this philosophy so powerful in a world of endless spending. Most people don't realize this, but a lot of modern consumption is emotional. People don't always buy things because they need them. They buy because they're bored, because they feel stuck, because they're trying to reward themselves for a life that feels unfulfilling. That late night online shopping, that impulse purchase after a stressful day, that constant need to treat yourself. Often, it's not about the item, it's about filling a space that feels empty. And that's where Ikigai changes everything. When your life has direction, when you feel useful, when you wake up knowing that your day has meaning, that emptiness begins to disappear. You no longer need to escape your life, because your life itself becomes something you want to be present in. Your attention shifts from buying to building, from consuming to creating, from chasing temporary pleasure to experiencing lasting fulfillment. And something quiet but powerful happens. The urge to spend fades, not because you're forcing yourself to save, but because you simply don't feel the need to buy as much anymore. You become more selective, more intentional, more aligned. Money is no longer used to fill emotional gaps. It becomes a tool to support a meaningful life. And in that shift, you don't just spend less, you live more. 6. Shinrin Yoku. Enjoy free, natural therapy. In a world filled with noise, notifications, and constant stimulation, there exists a practice so simple that many people overlook its power entirely. It's called Shinrin Yoku, which translates to forest bathing. But don't be misled by the name. There's no water involved, no special equipment, no skill required. Shinrin Yoku is simply this: stepping into nature and allowing yourself to be fully present within it. No phone, no distractions, no agenda, just you and the natural world. You walk slowly. You notice the texture of the trees, the sound of leaves moving with the wind, the rhythm of your own breath, finally slowing down. In many parts of the world today, relaxation has become commercialized. If you want to unwind, you're told to spend money, go to a spa, book a vacation, buy something new. But Shinrin Yoku offers something radically different. A reminder already confirmed what many cultures ignore. Spending time in nature lowers cortisol levels, reduces anxiety, improves mood, and even strengthens the immune system. But beyond the science, something deeper, something instinctive. Because humans were never designed to live entirely within concrete walls and glowing screens. There's a part of you, ancient and quiet, that recognizes the sound of birds, the smell of rain, the stillness of a forest. And when you
Two
reconnect with that
teaspoon
part,
vanilla.
something inside you settles. You begin to realize that happiness isn't something you have to chase through spending. It's something you can experience in stillness, in simplicity, in presence. And once you discover that, your dependence on paid forms of entertainment begins to loosen. You don't need constant stimulation. You don't need to keep buying experiences. Because sometimes, just being alive in a peaceful place is enough. 7. Teinei. Live with care and intention. There is a quiet beauty in doing things slowly, not out of laziness, but out of respect. This is the essence of Teinei. Teinei is the practice of
Half
living with
teaspoon
care,
of vanilla.
attention,
Oops.
and intention in even the smallest actions. It's not about doing more, it's
I
about doing
use
things better. In today's world,
vanilla.
everything is
Organic.
fast. Fast food, fast
I
fashion,
want
fast decisions.
flour. 3
We
cups
rush
of
through
pumpkin
meals without
flour.
tasting them. We buy things without thinking about them. We replace items the moment they show the slightest sign of wear. And in that rush, we lose something important. Connection. Tene invites you to slow down and reconnect. To
So
cook your
3
meals with presence,
tablespoons of
to
flour.
clean your space with care, to handle your belongings as if they matter. Because they do. When you live this way, your relationship with consumption begins to change. You don't overcook food, so you waste less. You don't neglect your belongings, so they last longer. You don't make rushed purchases, so you avoid regret. Every action becomes more deliberate, and with deliberation comes reduction. Less waste,
That's what
less damage,
the
less
one egg,
unnecessary spending.
baking
But the
powder,
real
and baking.
transformation isn't just financial, it's emotional. Because when you treat everyday life with care, even the simplest moments become meaningful. Washing dishes becomes calming. Preparing a meal becomes satisfying. Organizing your space becomes grounding. You stop living for big, expensive moments and start appreciating the small, ordinary ones. And in doing so, you realize something profound. A meaningful life doesn't require constant spending, it requires presence. 8. Minimalist living spaces. Smaller spaces, bigger savings. In many parts of the world, success is often measured by size. Bigger homes, bigger rooms, more space to fill. But in Japan, the approach is different. Space is limited. And instead of fighting that reality, it's embraced. Homes are intentionally smaller. Design is intentional. Every item has a purpose. This isn't just a lifestyle choice, it's a mindset. Because when your space is limited, you're forced to make decisions. What truly deserves to be here?
2 eggs.
What adds value to my life? What is simply taking up space? And those questions, it change everything. With less space, you naturally buy less.
What?
You avoid unnecessary furniture. You think twice before making purchases. You prioritize quality over quantity. Financially, the benefits are obvious. Lower rent, lower electricity bills, lower maintenance costs. But the deeper impact goes far beyond money. A smaller space is easier to
I took out an
manage,
egg.
easier to clean, easier to maintain. And because of that, you gain something incredibly valuable. Time. Time you would have spent cleaning, organizing, maintaining excess. And with that time comes freedom. Freedom to rest. Freedom to think. Freedom to focus on what truly matters. There's also a psychological shift. Clutter creates noise. Too many possessions create distraction. But a simple, intentional space creates clarity. Your mind feels lighter. Your environment feels calmer. And slowly, your life begins to reflect your space. Less chaos, Less stress, less overwhelm, more peace, more focus, more control. And in the end, you realize something powerful. You don't need a bigger life. You need a better one. At first glance, these Japanese principles may seem simple, but their power lies in consistency. Living better while spending less isn't about drastic sacrifice. It's about subtle shifts, being mindful instead of impulsive, appreciating instead of replacing, choosing purpose over pressure. In a world that constantly tells you to want more, these philosophies quietly remind you you already have enough. And sometimes, the richest life is the simplest one. If this video changed the way you think about money and life, then it's already done something. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a simpler, more intentional way of living. And tell me in the comments which of these Japanese principles will you start applying today? Because the journey to living doesn't start with more money. It starts with a new mindset.
So good. It's not about money. It's about what you do, how you think. Sometimes you come home, like sometimes I come home from work, I'm tired. I go online, Amazon, I buy whatever I can see. It's more a void in my life. Anyway, I'm doing the sugar now. It's not how much money it could have. It's not. Martha, I'm tired. That shit. All right. It called live. What called spend less and live better. That's how you see it. Now you probably never heard of this one, or maybe I don't want to know. Okay, baby. I got the recipe from a friend of mine. The cookie, not a friend of mine, but a lady that crossed by a drugstore. Make some noise if you have been to one of my shows before. Anybody here been? Thank you so much for coming back. That's incredible. Anybody here your first time? First time. Thank you for coming out. Listen, whether it's your first time or your fifth time at my show, I'm gonna treat y'all just like I treat my family. I really will. I'm gonna start a group text with you in it. Start a second one without you. Then I'm gonna talk about you in the wrong group text. You ever do that? Send a text about somebody, but you forget they're in that text. I sent a text to my mom, my sister about my brother. I'm like, oh, he's so annoying. Then my brother responds, who's annoying? Oh, Dad. We had a family reunion recently. Anybody here do family reunions? Yeah? But is it like an actual organized reunion? I know some people consider running into their family at a funeral a reunion. If the last time you saw your family, you were all wearing black, that's not a reunion. That's a reduction. I'm talking about an organized reunion where we're matching t-shirts and everything. We do it. We do the matching t-shirts and we do it big. I tell you how big we do it. You're gonna think I'm lying. My grandma was a sibling of 25. Mexican. So I'm doing chocolate chip cookies. My great grandparents. I'm browning the butter right now. Then my great grandmother passed away. I think from having. I don't have the blender, guys. So I'm kind of whip it with my hand. Then my grandfather was like, "Well, my heart still works though." So he got remarried, had some more kids, and in total he had 25. So there's the original batch of kids, and there's the remix batch of kids.
They all had some kids, and their kids had some kids. Like, see, our family reunion's about 500 deep. Birth control, birth control. We out here waiting. If you've never been to a family reunion before, this is what you can expect. You play games, you eat good food, you see that one cousin you almost swiped right on. Yeah. When your family's this big, your dating pool gets smaller. I had two cousins match on an app. They didn't know they were cousins. They match, they start talking, they're vibing, they have a lot in common. Shocker. They start coordinating, like, yeah, let's go grab a drink, woo, woo, woo. She starts looking through all his photos. She sees that he posted a picture wearing our family reunion t-shirt. See, that's why you gotta do your research. Otherwise, you end up with a baby with 6 toes. You don't know why. That's why. Another thing that happens at family reunions is you watch your elders get older and eventually pass on. They lived a great life. Now they're passing the baton to the next generation. The change of the guard.
This is good.
Like, for instance, my Thea Mary, she was my great aunt, my grandma's sister. She lived to be 102 years old. Yeah, give it up for her. 102.
Run.
She can hear you.
You know what I mean?
Thea Mary was the
Does
Thea
that push you
that
to it?
anytime we would call her to check in and be like, "Hi, Thea
You
Mary,
get
how
my
you
stupid
doing?"
son,
She'd
man.
go,
He's such a.
still kicking,
Yeah,
but not that high.
I don't talk about it. Really annoying.
She'd always ask me about my tour dates and where I was going to next. And no matter what city I told her I was going to, she'd always respond the same way. With the weather the way it is. Bless her. Thea Mary was one of the original Rosie the Riveters for our country during World War II.
So I have 2 cups sugar, brown and white. I have baking soda, baking powder. I have
Strauss making denim. She worked
all-purpose flour. I have
position.
2 eggs, no, 3 eggs, and I have vanilla, and I have this is vanilla, and I have
And my Thea Mary was the last of the original elders to pass on. So this was our first reunion without any of the original elders.
It's not butter. It's
So here I am at my reunion, looking around at my family like, wow, I am watching the change of the guard happen. Like, here goes Theo, who used to be running around with us kids, playing all the games, and now he's walking real slow. And there goes my one cool Thea, who she's the one who used to
that
come to the
together.
forest
Let's
the
put
ones
some
out
of this.
You know how everybody has that one wild Thea that's just there. Well, now she's in a wheelchair. So if that bar don't have a ramp, she ain't going.
I have to do this.
So here I am at my reunion, looking around at my family like, wow, I am watching the change of the guard happen right before my eyes. And right in that moment, I feel this little
So the recipe is only for like
this little voice say, "Excuse me, Thea."
we have pecan.
Oh no, the Theas are over there. They're so cute. I realize I'm not just watching the change of the guard happen, I am a part of it. I am now the Thea. And it's not even that I'm just now the Thea. It's like, bro, you're in your 40s. You've been the Thea. What do you mean just now? You see that eyelid? How it used to be up here, but now it's low like that.
And dried marshmallows.
What do you mean? I'm fighting my transition into my Thea era. I don't know how to do it. Do I have to start wearing powdery perfume now? Is there anybody else here in your Thea or Theo era? Anybody here? Yeah. If you're not sure, smell yourself. Do you smell powdery or spicy? Man, And are you wearing drip car? Then you are a Theo. And this is not just for Latinos. You could be white, black, Asian, whatever. This just means you're in your auntie and uncle era. It means you're too old to be young.
I think
You're
it's
too young to be old.
it's too runny. I need some more flour. Too runny.
Just fighting my transition. Although I will say this, there is one thing I'm looking forward to. I have been waiting a long time to start calling people mija and mijo. Latino culture, that's what we call the young ones. The young ones are mija and mijo. Well, I always thought I was too young to say it. You know, like I'm not gonna call you mija, I'm mija. But here I am in my Tia era. I gotta own it now. So I was at my reunion. I was like, all right, well, let me get some practice. So I just picked some little cousin running by, and I was like, hey, mijo, come here real quick.
Mijo.
You need to be careful when you're running. You could fall down, you could hurt yourself. Or God forbid, you run into one of your tias or tios. Like if you run into me right here like this, and I go down like that, like that. Mijo, I can't get up like I used to. I liked it. But here's the real dia test. If you can mija and mijo one of the older kids. You know what I mean? Like
So this is almond.
It's like, all right, let's see if we can pull it off. So I picked one of the older cousins. And I was like, so mija, what are you studying in school? Part of me wanted her to respond with, why are you calling me mija? Just so I could be like, I knew I was being a mistake. You see it too, right?
What do you
But
say?
she said communications. But I decided that since I'm the Thea now, that I'm going to be the
You have sprinkle?
I'm going to be the one that goes out to the
That
bar
one colorful cookie?
after. That's me now. So I said,
So a colorful cookie bag.
some of your old cousins. I was like, where are we going after? What bar are we going to? Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. What time are we going? 10?
Oh my god.
10 p.m.? No, I didn't know if we meant brunch tomorrow. I didn't know. Yeah, no, 10 p.m. I'm usually like barely getting out of the shower at 10, so I'll probably just meet you guys there. But don't worry, I'm gonna show you what's up. I'm gonna show you how to party.
We got a party.
See you guys later.
Get a party. So I got the whole batch of cookies.
Fine.
I wonder if you have set it cool down for a while. I think I'll let it sit in the fridge for like an hour. So
I'm not going. If I'm leaving the house at 10 p.m., I'm going to urgent care. Like, I do late shows, you know? Like, after this, I'm doing another show after this. Starts at 8 o'clock. Okay, back when I first started doing stand-up, my late show started at 11:30 p.m. Get out of town. You can't have me doing an 11:30 show now. But even then, to me, it's a little bit different because at that point, you guys get a show to watch while you are sitting down. If I go to a club at 10 p.m., they don't have no chairs. Chairs. You got me out there on the dance floor with my 2-inch heels.
yeah, I'm picking fridge for an hour. I don't know if it's now.
40-something-year-olds
Sit.
out there trying to keep up with these young bucks like, hey,
Well, so much for that.
You can watch my special at home tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, only on Beeps, and I'll be live streaming from 5 to 7 on Instagram and YouTube. You can ask me anything. This special is
Live streaming
to you. I didn't sell
when?
it. The big guys have produced it myself. So it's direct to consumers, man. I know it's a paper. You can also get a bundle with a really cool limited edition t-shirt. I'll tell you exactly how much this thing costs. I made it myself. The production cost was about 200 grand. Just pop it out on stage cost 10 grand. And post production cost them $150,000. Cheap. I'm making a movie here, man. I could have bought two Ferraris, but I want to make you guys laugh, make you guys cry with this very and a special movie called Finally Home that you guys can now finally watch. It's already the second highest grossing concert film of all time in Hong Kong movie theaters, thanks to your support. But now, worldwide, watch it tomorrow, 7 p.m. on Veeps. I'll see you guys there. You can watch my
Buy a Ferrari.
tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, only on Beeps, and I'll be live streaming from 5 to 7 on Instagram. And you can ask me anything. This special is from me to you. I didn't sell it to the big guys. I produced it myself. So it's direct to consumers, man. I know it's a pay-per-view, and you can also get a bundle with a really cool limited edition t-shirt. I'll tell you exactly how much this thing costs. I made it myself. The production cost was about 200 grand. Just pop it out on stage cost 10 grand. And post production cost them $150,000. Cheap. I'm making a movie here, man. I could have bought two Ferraris, but I want to make you guys laugh, maybe even make you guys cry with this very and a special movie called Finally Home that you guys can now finally watch. It's already the second highest grossing concert film of all time in Hong Kong movie theaters, thanks to your support. But now, worldwide, watch it tomorrow, 7 p.m. on Beeps. I'll see you guys there. You can watch my special at home tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, only on Beeps, and I'll be live streaming from 5 to 7 on Instagram and YouTube. You can ask me anything. The special is from me to you. I didn't tell it to the big guys. I produced it myself. So it's direct to consumers, man. I know it's a pay-per-view. You can also get a bundle with a really cool limited edition t-shirt. I'll tell you exactly how much this thing costs. I made it myself. The production cost was about 200 grand. Just pop it out on stage cost 10 grand. And post production cost them $150,000. Cheap. I'm making a movie here, man. I could have bought two Ferraris, but I want to make you guys laugh, maybe even make you guys cry with this very and a special movie called Finally Home that you guys can now finally watch. It's already the second highest grossing concert film of all time in Hong Kong movie theaters, thanks to your support. But now, worldwide, watch it tomorrow, 7 p.m. on Beeps. I'll see you guys there. You can watch my special at home tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, only on Veeps, and I'll be live streaming from 5 to 7 on Instagram and YouTube. You can ask me anything. The special is from me to you. I didn't sell it to the big guys. I produced it myself. So it's direct to consumers, man. I know it's a pay-per-view. You can also get a bundle with a really cool limited edition t-shirt. I'll tell you exactly how much this thing costs. I made it myself. The production cost was about 200 grand. Just pop it out on stage cost 10 grand. And post production cost them $150,000. Cheap. I'm making a movie here, man. I could have bought two Ferraris, but I want to make you guys laugh, maybe even make you guys cry with this very and a special movie called Finally Home that you guys can now finally watch. It's already the second highest grossing concert film of all time in Hong Kong movie theaters, thanks to your support. But now, worldwide, watch it tomorrow, 7 p.m. on Veeps. I'll see you guys there. You can watch my special at home tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, only on Beep, and I'll be live streaming from 5 to 7 on Instagram. And the special from me to you. I didn't sell it to the big guys. I produced it myself. So it's direct to consumers, man. I know it's pay-per-view. You can also get a bundle with a really cool limited edition t-shirt.
I'm gonna leave
I'll tell you
the
exactly
inside the
how much
fridge
I made it
for
myself.
1 hour before I bake it.
Pop it out on stage. Cost 10 grand.
I don't feel it doing anything right now. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go.
Man, I could have bought
I got stomach ache really bad.
make you guys laugh.